Hi and welcome to today's class. Today's class is called From Heavy to Light. So we're releasing any mental or physical heaviness so that we can move with a greater sense of ease. Today's class, we're going to think about mobilising our joints and some of those joints that might feel a little bit rusty in our hips and our shoulders, and awaken all of that nice energy in our bodies so that we can feel slightly lighter and a little bit more balanced. So I am going to be using yoga blocks today. You don't need to use them. If you do, then please have them to one side. Again, it's not a must, but you can get them on Amazon if you would like. So we're going to start on our backs. You're going to grab one of your blocks if you do have it, just placing it between your thighs, the medium or the skinny way, and just have a little hug of that block. Lay your head down onto the ground. Just let your chin tuck into your throat slightly, just get some length in the back of the neck. And just feel this nice north-south line of your spine, this centre line of energy. Placing your hands down by your sides, perhaps the palms on the floor. You're going to lengthen the tailbone towards the heels slightly, push into the soles of the feet and lift into a low bridge. Now take hold of your hands and place them on those front ribs and just think about grounding those back ribs down into the ground. Take a breath in and a breath out. So you're just holding here for a moment, just feeling your feet pushing nice and evenly down into the ground, feeling that energy rise up the legs, all the way up into the pelvis, the core, the pelvic floor, and just letting that energy just travel through the rest of your body. All of this energy we want to keep hold of. This energy is the thing that helps us feel slightly brighter and lighter, instead of when we lose that energy, we sort of end up feeling a little bit more stagnant and heavy. And then from there, all you're going to do is lower down a little bit, hover off the floor, and then push into those back ribs and your feet to lift up. So lifting and lowering. Just being mindful as you lift and lower, we are trying to mobilise and open the front of the hips, so where the thighs go up into the pelvis. So really, our lower back's working, but our mid back, we are really trying to keep it down on the ground so it just purely gets into our hips. Just waking up those glutes, waking up the hamstrings, and having a little hug of that block really does light up the inner thighs all the way into the pelvic floor. So taking a few rounds here, take some breaths in and out. You might want to just close your eyes as you're doing this. Be mindful of your chin, so you really don't want that chin, especially as you lift up, to punch up towards the ceiling. You're trying to keep the length in the back of the neck. We're trying to keep that nice long line of energy, that pipeline that we want. And take one more. And the next time you're up, you're going to stay up. Take your hands up towards the ceiling like you're holding a tray. Pull back on your left fingers with your right hand. So right where your fingers meet the palm of the hand, and then take your thumb out to the side. Have a nice full breath in. Really try to go wide and broad with your back ribs. And exhale out. And then I want you to switch hands, so pull back on your left fingers with your right hand. And now just lift your toes and spread your toes, but keep your toe mounds down, okay? So it's just the toes that are lifting and spreading. Just stretching the bottom of the feet. Breathe in and out. And then release your hands down by your sides. Let your toes come back down to the ground and slowly roll all the way down. Try and stretch the spine out as you do that. If you do have a block between your thighs, take it out and then just bring your knees into your chest and have a little hug and a rock from side to side. Okay, so now we're going to wake up our core. Whenever we kind of wake up our core, again, creates that energy, creates that heat, which does help to make us feel a little lighter. So soles of the feet on the floor, knees up to the ceiling. You do not need a block for this. So interlace your hands behind your head, elbows point up towards the ceiling. Okay, you're going to take an inhale, and then as you exhale, you're going to start to curl up. So pull those front ribs down as you do that. So you're lifting from your chest, you're not lifting your head. So your gaze might just go in between your legs, and then inhale as you lower. Exhale as you curl up, and when you get to the top, up off your shoulders, bring the left knee over the left hip. Place that left foot down, and then inhale as you lower. Exhale as you lift. Right knee comes up over the right hip. Just hold there for a moment, cinching everything into center. Right foot comes down. Inhale as you lower. So we're just going to add on to this. Exhale as you lift it up. Left knee comes over the hip. Then from there, you're going to take a little twist to the left. Okay, it's only about an inch, and you're staying up off your left shoulder. Come back to center. Left foot down. Inhale as you lower. Exhale as you curl up. Right knee over right hip. Small twist to the right. And again, up off that right shoulder. So try not to collapse down. Come back to center. Foot down. Inhale, lower. Exhale, curling up. Left knee over left hip. Small twist to the left. And then start to lift your right heel off the floor. So you might find a little bit more demand in your core as you do that. Lower that right heel, come back to center, left foot down, inhale as you lower. Exhale as you curl up. Right knee up over the right hip. Turn to the right, and then lift your left heel. So you're pushing into the ball of the left foot. Lower that left heel, come back to center, foot down, inhale as you lower. One more round. So exhale as you curl up, left knee up. Take a twist to the left. Lift your right heel so you can stay here, or just extend your right leg long. Even more demand on the core. Lower that right foot or right heel. Come back to center, left foot down. Inhale, lower. Exhale, curl up. Right knee up. Small twist right. Lift that left heel. You can stay here or just extend that left leg from the knee. Lower that left foot, left heel, back to center, and then lower that right knee down. And lower, bring those knees into your chest, have a little hug and rock from side to side. Fabulous. So hopefully everybody's core is feeling a little bit more heated. And we're going to use that as we come up and over onto all fours. So roll to one side or rock yourself all the way up. Okay, so for this, I am actually going to use a block. If you don't have one, you don't need to. So I'm going to place my right hand on the block. My shoulder is over my wrist and my left arm is just dangling. And then we're going to start to swing the left arm forwards and back. So we're just mobilising this left shoulder now as it moves in extension and flexion, forwards and back. So you're nice and strong with this right shoulder. So you're drawing the right shoulder down away from your ear. And then the next time that our hand comes forwards, you're going to take the left hand behind the head. Lift the head into the hand. Push your right hand down as you start to turn to the left. And then bring your chest back so it's facing the mat. So push down, lift the head into the hand, turn to the left, and then come back. Do that again. So just a couple more rounds. So that pushing down with that right hand assists and helps. Take one more. And then as you start to turn the chest to the floor, your left hand's going to thread underneath the right. The left side of the head will either come to the floor or a block into your thread the needle. So we're still pushing our hand into the ground. You're pushing the back side of the left hand into the ground and lifting the core up, just spreading the spine, spreading the muscles either side of the spine from left to right. And then push into that right hand to come up. So if you're using a block, just place it on the left side. If not, just place your left hand down and start to swing that right arm forwards and back. So really and ideally, our ears should be in line with our shoulders or just above, so we don't want the head dropping all the way down. So really try to lift the back of the head up as you swing your right arm forwards and back. Get the circulation going, get the movement going. It's a very mobile joint, our shoulder, so we need to keep it moving to make it feel at ease and not heavy. And then as the right hand comes forward, take the right hand behind the head. Push the head into the hand, left hand into the block or the floor and turn to the right. And then come back. So push down to turn and open. And then back. So as you're turning as well, the chin stays in that neutral position, so it's not lifting up. So just a few more. We are going to be doing this again in our little flow. And then the next time you turn, and as you come back, you thread that right arm underneath the left, place the right side of the head down to the ground, or you can always use a block or a blanket, and take a few rounds of breath here, just taking those ribs, those back ribs, wide and broad, and then pushing yourself up. Okay, so next thing that we're going to do, again, you're going to place your hands on the blocks or the floor. Okay, so making sure your knees are underneath your hips, back of the head is lifted, your core is on. You're going to hover the right knee, you're going to take it back, out to the side and round. So these are hip circles. So the only thing that's moving is this hip, okay? So everything else is trying to stay nice and steady. So getting into that mobilisation of the hip joint. And then go in the opposite direction. So your circles don't have to be as big as mine. Just make this feel nice, okay? Now, if you have very tight hips or if you haven't moved much, then this might feel clicky, clunky, you know, go with it. These hips are made to move, so it is good for them. And then lower that knee down. Left knee hovers, kick that leg back, out to the side and round. So pushing the hands into the blocks or the floor. And then remember, keep the back of the head lifted. So my gaze is literally at the front of my yoga mat. I'm not trying to lift my head. And then go in the opposite direction with that knee. And again, we're going to do this again in the flow. It will be an option of on all fours, or you'll be able to do it in a three-legged down dog. Last one. And then land. Okay, we're coming to the front of the mat. So, stepping all the way up, we're going to do a couple of rounds of sun salutations. Use blocks if you would like to, if you have them. If not, your hands will come to the floor. So you'll inhale your arms forwards and up, so reach the fingertips up towards the ceiling. As you fold down, bend the knees, sit the bum back, land the hands, right foot steps back. Lower the knee, top of the foot, sweep those arms forwards and up. So we're in this nice 90-90 position. Stretching the sides of the body, reaching up, letting the spine grow nice and tall. Hands come down. Slide that left foot back, right foot back. Lower the knees. Lower down nice and slowly. Inhale, lift the chest, so drag the hands back, come into your cobra. And then exhale, push back through the knees, tuck the toes, lift into your down dog, and walk your feet in just an inch. Take a breath in and out. And then it's up to you. You can step your right foot forward, or you can lower your knees. Step your right foot forward, point your left toe, sweep those arms forwards and up. So, left glute is on. Lengthen that tailbone down just slightly so the pubic bone lifts up and you can feel a nice stretch for the front of the left hip. Hands to the floor or blocks and step to the front. Push down and rise up. We're going to go again, but we're going to add on. So exhale, folding down. Bend the knees, step the left foot back. Lower the knee under the hip. Keep your toes tucked at the back if you can. Sweep those arms forwards and up. Okay, so give that left glute a little bit of a squeeze to hold steady. Arms come into a cactus position. And then from there, you're going to rotate to the right and then come back to center. So we're just rotating to the right. So the hips are still orientated forwards. It is just your thoracic spine that is moving. So that left glute that's squeezing and holding is helping to stop the pelvis from turning. Take one more there. Come back to centre. Move the blocks, hands come down. Slide the right foot back, left foot back. Lower the knees. Lower down, let the pelvis land, lower ribs land, and then inhale, drag those hands back. Lift the chest. Exhale, push back through the knees, tuck the toes. Lift into your down dog. So push the floor away, walk the feet in an inch. Left foot can step forwards or lower the knees. Step that left foot forward. You're on the ball of the right foot. Sweep those arms forwards and up. Okay, so really pushing through that right big toe. Bring your arms into your cactus position. Elbows in line with the shoulders. And then turn to the left. And then back to centre. So as you're turning left, don't let the arms do the movement. The arms are just steady and they're just turning because your chest is turning. Take one more. And hands down to the floor or grab your blocks and step to the front. Push down and rise all the way up and bring your hands to heart center. Okay, so from here we're going to go through a little bit of a sequence of moves. So we'll inhale those arms forwards and up, fold down, bend the knees, land the hands, step the right foot back. Lower that right knee, keep those back toes tucked and sweep your arms forwards and up. Come back into that cactus position. Hold that right glute and we're doing the same thing. We're turning to the left and then coming back to center. So just turning to the left. Hold that core nice and steady as well. So we are working the core as we're rotating and turning. Okay, and then the next time you turn to the left, you're going to hold there. The left hand will come to the sacrum or to that back heel, and you reach your right arm up towards the ceiling. So it's an upward lift. We're trying to really not give way to gravity that's pulling down on us. We're trying to reach and create some lightness. Hands come onto your front thigh. You're going to tuck your back toes if they're not already. Lift that back knee, pivot your back heel down and open into your warrior two. I'm going to grab my block, so if you have one, please do that. So for our warrior two, that front knee is bent. You're pushing through the outer edge of the back foot. Palm your block if you have it. Reach your arms up towards the ceiling. And then from there, you're going to take an inhale as you start to straighten the front leg, reach the block up, and then exhale, rebend. So inhale, lift, exhale, bend. So really push the floor away as you straighten that front leg and bend. Two more there, so getting this front leg working a little bit, lifting up with the armpits. And then rebend, turn back to the front, lower that back knee down. Step your left foot out to the left, so you're in a grounded warrior position. So if I turn to the front to show you, it would be like this. So left foot's out to the left, left hand is on the hip, right arm is just going to sweep up and over. So open these right ribs, and then bring that right arm down into a cactus position. Reach up and over. And then back. So this right glute still needs to hold nice and strong as you do this. Getting that nice side stretch. Just let your head go along. And let's take one more. And hands down. We're coming into a three-legged down dog. So as you come up into your down dog, you'll take your left leg long. You'll bend your knee and circle that hip. So if this isn't good for you in three-legged down dog, you can lower that right knee and circle your hip like we did right at the beginning. So wherever you are, just go in the opposite direction. So really just trying to get rid of anything still stuck in the hips, flushing everything out. One of my favourite things to do. And then from there, you're going to lower that left knee down, kickstand the left foot and extend the right leg long, sweep the right arm up towards the ceiling. So we're in our modified side plank. If you have a block, you can always grab it and place that left hand on the block. And top arm's going to come down in front of the body and reach up and over. So now we're circling the arm, back stroking the arm. This is all coming from this right shoulder. So just enjoy that movement. You've got your left shoulder holding steady and the right one is mobilising. Take one more. And then coming onto all fours. Get rid of the block if you had it. And we're coming into that move again we did at the beginning. So the right hand's down, left hand behind the head. Push the right hand down, turn and open to the left. And then bring your chest back down towards the mat. So you push and open. It's a very small move. And then realign the chest. So push down, open. And then the next time you push down and open, you're going to thread that left arm under the right, bend that left elbow, let the left side of the head come to the floor, or you can always grab your block. You can stay here, or this right hand, you can start to crawl it to the front of the mat and just tense your fingers. And again, remember, we are lifting up, we're not sinking all the way down into the ground. Trying to create lightness, we're trying to get that energy, keep hold of it, make us feel better and move better. And then bring that right hand down, push and open, rise up, and we're coming to the other side. So step that left foot forward, sweep your arms forwards and up. Bring your arms into that cactus position, engage that left glute. Take a rotation to the right. And then back. So rotating to the right. So keeping that front knee as well, that right knee nice and steady. So it's not flapping about or moving. Try and scissor those legs together as you rotate and turn. It will really help keep everything, the bottom half of you, nice and solid, so you get this nice free movement above. And then the next time you open to the right, right hand will come to the sacrum or to that back heel. Reach that left arm up. Okay, so you're not lifting your chin staying in that neutral position. Hands onto the front thigh, lift that back knee. Pivot your heel down into your warrior two. If you have a block, grab hold of it. So this time the right knee is bent, pushing through the outer edge of the left foot. Reach the arms up, palming that block. Inhale, straighten the front leg, reach up. Exhale, rebend. So inhale and exhale. So really getting length in the sides of the body, in the spine, all that energy coming from the floor. Remember, we're trying to let that come up into our pelvis and just travel through the rest of our body without escaping or leaving any of that energy. We want to keep hold of it. Last one. Turn to the front, lower that back knee. Right foot steps out to the right. Right hand on the hip, left arm, reach it up and over. And then draw that left arm into that cactus position again. Reach up and over. Enjoy that nice side stretch. And back. Take two more there. Try not to collapse in that right side. Hands down. Three-legged down dog. The right leg will lift. Bend the knees. Circle that hip. So remember, if three-legged down dog isn't something that you feel like today, you can lower that left knee and do those hip circles like we did at the beginning. So just flush anything out of this right hip and then go in the opposite direction. Doing this in three-legged down dog is a lot harder. The body's got to work harder to stabilise as that leg moves. Take one more there. And then lower that right knee down. Kicks down the right foot, the left leg goes to the back. You'll sweep your left arm up. So just have a little look down, just check that your shoulder's over your wrist and your knee is underneath your hip. The right hand can always come to a block. And then backstroke this left arm, let it come down in front of the body, reach forward and up and over. So you don't have to have a straight arm, there can be a bend in the elbow. This right shoulder blade, the one that's stabilising and holding, is just pulling down towards the pelvis, so it's not moving. The only shoulder that's moving is this left side. Let's take one more. And let that hand come down. Get rid of your block. Left hand's down, right hand behind the head. Head pushes back into the hand. Push down into the floor, turn a little bit to the right. And then back. So push to help that turn. So the pelvis isn't turning with you either, it's just the chest. So it might only be an inch or so, and that's perfectly fine. Take one more. And then as you come down, you'll thread that right arm underneath the left, bend that left elbow, right side of the head, will come to the floor or a block. Left hand now, you might pull those fingertips forwards, come up and tense your fingers at the front of the mat. So you're lifting that armpit up. You're really pushing that right side of the hand that's in contact with the floor, pushing that down, lift the core up. Take a breath in, feel it just ballooning into your body, into your ribs. And then left hand back, right hand back. Come into a child's pose, so perhaps take those knees wide, big toes to touch. Sink those hips as far back as it feels okay and pad your hands forwards. Just release your head down to the ground and take a couple of rounds of breath here. So movement just creates heat. And when we do that, we create a sense of lightness. So getting some heat in the core, in the joints of the body, just creates that sense of ease. It gets rid of the heaviness. I know sometimes it can be really hard to perhaps get yourself moving with movement. Anything doesn't have to be long. Just making yourself feel a little bit more balanced. And then when you're ready, pushing your hands all the way up, just come into a kneeling position, placing one hand over the other at the heart center. Just feeling your breath rising and falling in your hands, that gentle ebb and flow of your breath, and just thanking yourself for carving out time in your day to move with mind, body, and breath. From my heart to yours, namaste.